and welcome
We're live!
to day 3 of the JVology giveaway show. We have already done this for 2 amazing days. Day 1 was all about lead generation. Day 2 was all about personal development. And now day 3 is about health and wellness. So a lot of our gifts today are going to have to do with health and wellness. But we're going to mix it up. We're going to have people from all different categories so that way you can get a broad range of gifts. I'm going to be your co-host today. My name is Charisse, and I am a part of the JVology team. I do special projects here, and I'm with my co-host, Michelle.
Hey! And I'm with JVology, and I do the affiliate management. So if you need affiliate links, if you need swipe copy, you can get a hold of me at partner@jvology.com, and I'm happy to get you those resources that you need. Feel free to. I'm happy to help you.
And if you ask anyone else, we'll send you all to Michelle anyways.
Exactly, so don't do that.
Yeah, just faster. So, Michelle, we are on day 3. I would love to hear from you. What are some of the gifts that really stood out to you so far from the past 2 days? Keeping in mind, all of the gifts are amazing.
Oh, all of the gifts are amazing. And I know I promised I was going to download stuff, but I think I'm going to wait until Saturday morning to book my time to make sure
Same.
I get all of those things in because there were so many. So fantastic things from being able to figure out your own mindset yesterday and looking at what is your relationship skills. That one kind of blew me away. And I went, I got to look at that one and see what Kelly's got going on for that. If you haven't talked to Kelly Carius, she's amazing and awesome. There was a ton of them on the business side of things that I totally want to look at. And it was super fun talking to everybody. That's all I got.
Yeah, we had a lot of gifts we've already talked about. There are over 60 gifts in this giveaway, and over the past 2 days, I think we've covered 20 of them, 30 of them. It's like a blur, but a lot, right? We've already covered a lot, and we have a lot more to go. I know one of the gifts that stood out to me was the gift talking about self-sabotage, or the different ways that we sabotage, and that there are really 10 different ways that we kind of do it. And that there were like hundreds of thousands of studies done to whittle it down to those 10. I thought that was really amazing. I was thinking today earlier about Kathleen Panning's ants in your pants analogy, just because I think that's a really funny thing to say. And I haven't even heard that expression since I was in kindergarten. So I was thinking about it. I was thinking about it today, and I was just like, man, that's uncomfortable. Ants in your pants would be the worst. I would lose it. But yeah, we've had some really cool gifts, and it's going to continue today with our theme of health and wellness. We're going to be able to hear about taking care of you, the business owner, as well as your business, because I think our first guest is Lana, and I believe that she said to me before that if you don't take care of yourself and your health, it doesn't really matter what's going on with your business, because you're not going to be around long enough to really enjoy it, right? So I'm excited about today's category because it may not seem directly related to business, but it's totally related to business.
I'm totally lost, but that's okay. Yeah, it happens. I'm just looking for my sheets. I can't find my links. I can't find it's like, wow, this is live when nothing is where I thought it should have been.
What do you need, Michelle? What do you need? Let me help you.
I don't have our spreadsheet. I don't have my questions.
I'm going to put that right here. Here's a spreadsheet. And if you click on the spreadsheet, we created a spreadsheet for all the contributors with all their interview times. And also the second tab has some fun questions.
And we need fun questions because that just makes us laugh. Then we get to talk about, big shiny squirrels look like dolphins and, other bizarre and strange conversations that we've been known to have in the last 2 days.
Yeah, the silly questions are great because it gives us a chance to get to know our contributors a little bit better, and it gives the community a chance to get to know them better, because I think sometimes we can become a little bit two-dimensional when we're just like, I am the business owner, this is what I do, but there's obviously so much more to us. Yeah. Exactly. We're three-dimensional.
Whoop. We are.
Got that one.
Nice. And some of the things that I want people to know about is as they're going through this giveaway, and most of you have noticed, I've noticed there's been fantastic response to the little something after you sign up for the giveaway. People are responding in droves about JVology Live, and they should, because JVology Live is super fun. It's a fantastic opportunity to build your business, get other people with like-minded audiences that to yours, and you can either cross promote, you can have promotions before or after, you can do all sorts of fun and amazing things with people that allows you to do fun and crazy things like co-host summits, like we do with Sharice, and be able to have interviews with people that can serve and support your tribe in ways that you just either can't or don't want to, all of which are good.
Yeah, can we play a commercial for JVology Live?
We can. I think we know how.
I think we have one or two of those in the back.
Somewhere.
So there you go. That's all you need to know.
That's it. Just show up. You'll love it. It'll be great. Here, but we got meerkats. We love the meerkats. Hold on.
Where is the one who is coming to save me? Where is the twist at the end of the story?
And that
I
tells you even
love
more.
I love that one. Where are my friends? I have no friends. Come to JVology Live and we'll find you friends. Especially if you have a twisted sense of humor or you get fatigued really easily. That's always fun too.
Yeah, and if you don't mind F-bombs, then JVology Live is for you. F-bombs and wine is kind of like our secret sauce to how we do what we do. But yeah, JVology Live is really amazing. It's a 3-day event, a 3-day experience where you get to learn the art and science of creating joint venture partnerships, of finding people who want to support you and your business and promote you to their audience. So there is an art to it. There's a way to do it that feels really good to everybody. There's a science to it. There's like logistical, tactical things you need in place in order to be ready to partner with other people. And there's kind of a bonus third thing when you come to JVology Live, which is the people. The very people that you need to partner with are usually in the room, which means you're like, hey, I'm learning the skills, I'm learning the art of it, and can I practice with you and you and you and you, and walk away with partners. So it's a really, really cool experience. You can go to jvologylive.com to get your tickets, but I would recommend you go to the giveaway first, because there is a special little something as soon as you sign up having to do with JVology Live that's going to give you a huge leg up, I will say. So go to jvologygiveaway.com and sign up for the gifts, and then you can go in and find out more information about JVology Live through that way.
Nice. Also want to let you know, peeps, that as you're watching this, if you're watching it on Facebook, you may see it on the top right that says J Facette is going live at the perfect mix of people, fun, and profits. You can go in there and post comments to us, I believe, but you have to let StreamYard, you have to give StreamYard permission to be able to do that. I will find that link for you. You can also go to like J Facette. So facebook.com/likejfacette, which is his fan page. And I believe we are live there as well. If you can put some comments in the chat so that we can see that you guys are there, that would be awesome and epic. And third place you can see this is on YouTube. So we're also on JVology, the perfect mix of people, fun, and profit on YouTube. And NBC and CBS and NBC. No, we're not. Just always want to say that.
We're not. We're on Facebook and YouTube. What was I going to say?
Really? I got you already? Wow, we're not even 10 minutes in. That's pretty good.
It's been a long week.
It's only Wednesday.
Yes, exactly. And it's only Wednesday. What was I going to say?
We have so many amazing gifts coming. I don't know. I was talking about clicking and chatting and...
Nope. I don't know.
Okay.
It's gone.
That's okay.
Well, we've got our first contributor here, so it'll come to me. But we've got our first contributor, and I would love to welcome to the stage Lana. She's getting a little bit set up here, but that's okay. We'll bring you on and let you adjust.
Just give us a thumbs up when you're ready.
Okay, sure. Hello.
How you
Never ready, always ready. Hi.
Hello. You're always ready. You're always
Sure. Let's go with that. Thank you.
Well, Lana, welcome to the JVology giveaway show. We're so excited to have you here.
Thank you.
So let's start by introducing you to the rest of the community. Let us know who you are and what you do. What is your passion?
Well, hi, everyone, and thank you so much. I'm Lana Kirtley, Empowering Health Journeys, and that's truly kind of my jam. Right now, I'm in a hotel room, just to be totally honest, and I'm precariously my laptop on my lap, so, literally. So anyways, what's my jam? My jam is helping women deal with stress-related health issues, to go from a feeling of overwhelmed, tired, and anxiousness to a whole nother level of feeling abundant, feeling uniquely beautiful, and feeling like they are thriving instead of just barely surviving.
So tell us more about how you got into this. Like, what was your backstory that got you into doing Empowering Health Journeys? And also, do you still have your podcast?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay, so tell us your backstory, how you got into it, and where we can find you maybe on the podcast.
Okay, cool. So just to provide a little bit of background is, some might say I'm a little bit tenacious or a little bit stubborn, but I've always had, boy, that's not a flattering position to be. No, now you see the messy bedroom. Anyways, so the reality is that I've always known that my health is my responsibility and not somebody else's. Via that process and a number of stressors, and I ended up realizing in a series of inquisitiveness and becoming a certified health coach that my own health was not ideal, whatever that version is, and that I wanted to better understand what was going on, and realized that what I thought was normal hair loss, that was normal little bit of perimenopause belly bloat, the tiredness, the lack of proper sleep, were not just hormones and age, which part of me just knew that it was called adrenal fatigue, and that there was something about it, and that I had to learn how to deal with my stress. And that process is part of why I've picked this arena in terms of helping people to understand how much of their health is actually in their own hands and capability. So yes, my primary focus is women, but within that, I believe that we all have the power and ability to make different decisions. So the gift that Charisse is showing on screen right now, or Michelle is, whoever's managing that side of it, thank you, is I like to call it the low-hanging fruit opportunity, where we can start at in terms of micronutrients, what I call the players that might be a little bit short-staffed, might not be playing full out per se. It's things like iron and having a deficit of it, what that can do to our health, so that we can start to identify some of these easy opportunities to make shifts. Now, I'd love to say to everybody, just improve your nutrition. But if there's a shortage, then we might have to do a supplement to up the game. Instead of doing a white pill, how about we pick a different kind of green pill? Or maybe it's omega-3, which is considered like it's a healthy oil type of situation. Those are things that to me are really important. Is let's get those micronutrients in balance. It'll help with the head game. It'll help with the tiredness. It'll help with the muscle aches, until we can change our choices regarding whole foods. I'd love to say whole foods, but if you're out of balance, you're out of balance. If you're not absorbing correctly, we got to up the game with micronutrients. And that's why my gift is, let's start with those, that low-hanging fruit, and figure it out. Yes, I have a podcast. Thank you. It is called Empowering Health Journeys. It's my jam. It's my thing. It's trying to help people understand that there is a huge difference between the diagnosis and the prognosis. That you're diagnosed with high blood pressure, and you're just going to take a little white pill for the rest of your life. And it's like, nuh-uh. There are supplements, there are food choices, there are mind choices that can make a world of difference. And part of the podcast is finding those people, interviewing them regarding their journeys and the shifts that they've made to a higher level, to a different level of being, that the prognosis is different.
Nice. Lana, in your opinion, why do you think most people who are going through health issues think, oh, it's just age, or like, and they don't go, hey, if I got all this stuff going on and I'm in my 40s or even 50s or 60s,
Right.
like
Yep.
to me, people just accept that it's a part of aging, which blows my mind because I have parents in their
Yep.
late 80s and they don't have the same pain and suffering that these people have because, like, why is that?
Unfortunately, for a lot of us, it's conditioning. Be a good kid. Your traditional Western medicine doctor knows best. They've gotten all this education. There's a little bit of posturing. I hate to slam. I really believe in complementary. That it's not an alternative, it's complementary. It's a team thing. But first, we have to believe that we are worthy of something different, of something more. We have to acknowledge that what got us into this mess is not going to be the same damn thing that is going to get us out. Understanding that, okay, in the case of Western medicine, they take 4 hours of nutritional training. So they're not the best, right? They're not the best advocate for their training is how to manage a symptom, not reverse it. That's predominantly their training. Whereas a naturopath, whereas a functional medicine. I live in a small rural community. That's why I do what I do. I am the support, the bridge between the traditional Western medicine doctor and my knowledge base to say, okay, you can take the little white pill, but my goal is to get you off or to minimize that prescription to get that organ or system back healthier so that you can live a more vibrant life versus this settling and accepting. I'm a woman in my late 50s. I don't know how many times from how many different women I heard the fact is that, oh dear, that's just part of being a woman. Oh dear, that's just part of growing old. Thank God my personality is a bullshit. Bullshit.
And on
Use
that,
my grammar, but I call it.
well, hey, we warned everybody. This is JVology, and we are live, so anything goes. And you haven't even got to where we were going with it. So that's awesome. I totally agree wholeheartedly with you. If you're not getting the right nutrients, everything goes kaput. And go and download Lana's gift because it is fantastic, awesome, and you'll notice huge differences right away when you start getting the right nutrients in your body. Lana, can I ask you a fun question? And I promise it'll relate to your product this time.
Pardon?
I said it'll relate to your giveaway product this time. No, next time might not. What is the weirdest food you've ever eaten?
The weirdest food I've ever eaten. The weirdest food I've ever eaten. Oh God, I don't know. Is it clams? Is it oysters? Is it? Oh, I know. I'm a farm girl. Prairie oysters.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that one wins. Now, for those of you in our audience who aren't really sure what prairie oysters are, I assure you they are not like oysters from the ocean.
No.
No. Sharice, do you know what prairie oysters
No, and I'm so
Really?
concerned.
Okay, no, don't be concerned. No. Now, for all the guys who are about to, Michelle, do you want me to explain or you're going to?
You go right ahead. And no, they're not human.
But.
Well, we only have 30 seconds, Lana. 30 seconds.
Basically, as a farm girl, growing up with my parents, I was part of a 100-head cattle operation. So when your brand calving season happens, typically early spring, then you brand, identify the animals, you do some maybe medical stuff, likely not. But one thing you do, is you castrate the bulls so that they stay as steers. And there's some hormone challenges or opportunities in keeping them as steers. And when they're that young, they haven't produced any of the semen, so don't get grossed out by that. It's
Oh yeah, that makes all the difference.
yeah, it does. It does. It really does. You see it. You see it. You smell it in the difference between a mature animal and a baby.
Thank you so much, Lana, for coming to the giveaway.
I am so glad I asked you that. That is awesome.
That was amazing and truly a unique experience. If you want to get your hands on Lana's gift, which has to do with micronutrients that are normal foods, go to JVologyGiveaway.com. The link is in the comments, and you can get your hands on Lana's gift. Thank you so much, Lana, for coming.
Speaking of
You are so welcome. I'm sorry for the education eye-opening, Michelle. You asked.
Wait. That was awesome, Lana.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was awesome.
You don't have to apologize.
That is the best way to start the day is
Yeah.
we get educated, we get information, and then we an education we never thought we'd have.
Yeah, we got an education we never wanted. But thank you. Thank you, Lana.
Kidding.
We have our
Bye.
next contributor here backstage, so we're going to go ahead and bring her up. Welcome to the stage, Ann. Welcome.
Hello, Ann.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
It's nice to be here.
Yeah, we're so glad to have you. I'm still just a little shell-shocked from our previous conversation, but that's okay because we're going to move forward and wash that conversation out of some of our memories, starting with Ann. So, Ann, we'd love to introduce you to our community. So let us know who you are and what you do. What is your passion?
My passion, well, who I am, I'm Ann Metcalf. I'm an author, published author. I'm a teacher, and I'm a gut advocate. And right now, my passion is basically educating people about how important our diet is and how important fiber is to help our bodies. And yeah, that's kind of my passion at the moment.
Fantastic. And what do you have for a gift for us today, Ann?
Well, it's called 10 Top Tips that your gut buddies will love you for. And our gut buddies are those 37 trillion microbiota that live in our gut, in our digestive system. And a lot of that is in the colon, which a lot of people don't know about. And that's where kind of where the action is. And it's like there are these hidden charms, mysteries, things that we don't know about. And so, my gift is for men and women, and who are basically they're concerned about their health. Some of them might want to be sort of reducing the prescriptions that they're on, or they've got sort of overweight issues, and they want to thrive. They want to thrive and be alive, whether it's with their business, their families, and by eating sort of more of a plant-based is certainly what I've been learning about. I've covered all of the gamuts of the diets, and the plant-based research is showing how we can improve our health.
Fantastic. I love that no matter how alone you might feel, you have 10 trillion buddies roaming around inside of you at all times.
Yeah, we do.
No, and I always love this conversation. And peeps, don't get me wrong. I'm not being the devil's advocate. I'm not being mean to Ann. But talk to me about the about plant-based versus meat-based as far as nutrients and things like that go. Why are they promoting or saying that one's the better way to go?
Well, I think the research is out there. And part of the reason is that the animals who eat the fish, the meat, etc., they don't have any fiber. And the fiber is where the magic is. And the other thing too is that plants take the nutrients from the soil. They create their own antitoxins because there's viruses and bacteria in the soil. The plants know how to create the antitoxin. And when we eat those plants, we get that. So when we're eating organic plants, we're getting sort of like an extra protection in our body. And so yes, the animal protein does provide some protein, but they're finding that vegans and vegetarians have no problem in getting the protein they need.
So let's talk a little bit more about your gift and your thoughts on gut health, because something that people don't know about vegans and vegetarians is that you can be unhealthy in your diet and nutrition, even as a vegan or vegetarian. Some people think like, oh, if I'm vegan, then it's just healthy. But no, there's still some more going on there. So let us know more about the importance of probiotics or the importance of bacteria in our gut. Why does that matter? What do those help?
It matters a lot. And it's actually the prebiotics that make the big difference, because plants are prebiotic. And basically all that means is it's food for the gut bacteria. Our gut microbiome eats the fiber. Some of the fiber, like oats, the soluble fiber, gets digested sort of in the halfway through the small intestine, and the insoluble fiber moves down into the colon, the large intestine, and that's where the gut bacteria and all the microbes start munching away at the fiber, and they create short chain fatty acids. And those short chain fatty acids are what's actually, they're finding now, it's actually helping heal the body. And so, and if we don't have the fiber, and if you don't have the variety, it's all about the diversity. You know, they talk about the rainbow foods. Well, that rainbow of foods needs to include a real diversity of plants, because if we've got 37 trillion gut bacteria, they're not just feeding on one kind of food. They need a real variety in order for them to survive. Because if we don't eat the right sort of amounts of food, all those different plants, it's nuts, seeds, fruits, vegetables, then those bacteria basically die off. And when certain bacteria die off, like the bad guys who are actually part of our system take over. And that's when inflammation starts to happen.
Crazy. So we not only have 10,000 or 10 billion friends, we have hungry little friends.
They are hungry.
That's awesome. And do you mind if I ask you a fun question?
Sure.
Awesome. My question for you is, what is the craziest fashion trend that you've ever rocked?
The craziest fashion trend? Well, I'm kind of a conservative person, so probably the craziest would have been bell bottoms back in the 60s.
Nice. Hey, I wore bell bottoms in the 90s. Woo!
Yeah.
Did your mom put the little triangle in them and, you know, make them all snazzy?
No, I just sort of went for the regular ones. Yeah.
You know, when I was a kid, I remember telling my mom was showing me her old bell bottoms because she's a child of the 70s. And she was like, oh, look at these. And I was like, those look so outdated. And she was like, please, someday you're going to be wearing these. And I was like, yeah, right, Mom. And then fast forward like 10 years and I'm going to high school in my bell bottoms. And she was just like, I was like, yeah. Okay, they are kind of cool now. All right.
They totally look cool.
Well, Ann, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for sharing about your gift. If you want to get your hands on Ann's gift and learn more about gut health and why it's really important to your overall health, head over to JVologyGiveaway.com, and the link is in the comments, so you can scroll and see those. So you can get Ann's gift and over 60 other amazing gifts. And thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Ann.
Thank you so much. It's been fun. Bye-bye.
Today is going to be so much fun. If you're not ready for it, just so you know, we're talking about health and wellness. And I don't know about you, Therese, but every time I talk about health and wellness with people, we get into some weird and bizarre conversations. I think they're just going to get weirder and weirder. And it's going to be more and more awesome.
I don't know about every time, but I will say this time. Today's been a bit interesting, and I think it's going to continue to be interesting. I totally agree with you. On that note, we have our next contributor here backstage, and we're going to bring and welcome her up to the stage. Welcome, Dale. Hi.
Hi.
Hey,
Good
Dale.
to see you.
Good to see you too. So let's start by introducing you to our community. So let everybody know who you are and what you do. What is your passion?
I am a college success coach, and my passion really is I want every college student to have a positive experience. And unfortunately, colleges right now are flooded with kids feeling anxious, stressed, overwhelmed, depressed. It's not a good situation. And it was happening even before COVID, so it's not just related to COVID, but COVID actually has made it worse. So I want to change that and give them some skills and tools so they really can feel in control of their college experience and have a good one.
Awesome. And tell us about your gift and how that relates.
My gift is something that I put together really for parents and college students, and it's the 6 secrets to a successful college experience. And what I'm trying to get at is, in order to do well in college, it's not about academic ability or whether they're college ready in the academic sense. It's really more about life skills. It's really about how are they going to transition from living at home to living in a dorm without their parents. And there's so many, what you might think are simple things that kids at that age don't really know. Or maybe they know, but they hadn't really thought about how am I going to deal with this? Because they haven't had to. You know, they've been protected by their family, by their parents. And so these are really what I think are the top things that they should think about and maybe practice even before they get to college, so that they feel like they can live well on their own and you know, be functioning well.
Well,
Yeah.
where were you when I went to college? Right? So many things strike me as weird. It was funny. I got my own apartment. I'm like, well, how do the utility departments know where to send me the bill? Hey, you sign up for it, honey bunny, and you give them your address. You give them your card, and they take the money. It's really easy, but you know, silly things like that. I just didn't know how they would
So
find
many
us.
regular life skills. I remember living in the dorms and having other students just not know how to do stuff like laundry. They were like looking at the washing machine like, how do I make this thing
Dude,
go?
I bought a brand new washing machine. I don't know how to make it.
And I'm like, you didn't do laundry at home? That's amazing. But even when we moved out, me and my best friend went to college together. When we moved out of the dorms to an apartment, I remember calling my mom and being like, do you know how expensive cereal is? Do you have any idea? And she's like, yeah, I have an idea of how expensive cereal is. I
said that as I was taking the cereal out of the cupboard and putting it in the box that I was taking back to college.
Seriously. So there's so many skills that you're just like, you don't even think about it, like buying hand towels for your apartment because you've never bought hand towels because you always have hand towels at home. And you're just like, wow, this is kind of new. So I really appreciate that, Dale. Let me know. I'm curious. Is there like a biggest obstacle that college students face that's maybe not academics related, but it blocks them in their academics? Like, is it like socializing? Is it those, buying groceries? Like, is there some major FAQ that you get from
asking
students?
for help, knowing that there's counselors, tutors,
Well, now I think the biggest, honestly, and I think this is the key to college success, so drum roll, it is being good at time management. Knowing how to use your time well, because nobody's telling you when to go to bed or when to eat or when to exercise, and getting up on time and making sure you get everything done. So actually, every time I work with a student individually, I'm always starting at that point because none of them are using planners. They don't have to create a to-do list. They just get overwhelmed by everything that needs to be done, and they don't know how to create like a plan for themselves. So that's really, to me, that's the key, because once you get that figured out, then everything else kind of falls in place.
Yeah, it's a keystone skill, kind of like learning to read. Once you learn how to read, you can like do almost anything, right? Because you could read stuff. It's one of those things with at the school that I used to work at, we have the middle schoolers. We start them on planners as middle schoolers, and we work with them all the way through high school working on their planners, and they don't get it a lot of times. They're just like, why do I have to do this? Why do I have to keep filling out stuff? I don't get it. But then we hear from the graduated seniors after they're in college, they come back and go, man, I'm so glad I had my planner. Or the first thing I did was I got a planner. Or I looked around at my friends and they didn't know what time their homework was due because they didn't have a planner. And it's like, they didn't even get it for all those years until it clicked. So that's amazing. I probably wouldn't have picked that one was the one, but now that you say it, yeah. On that note, though, your gift is not just for college students, right? Or is it? Who's the perfect person to get your gift?
No, I mean, high school students as well. As you're saying, if you can start practicing these things early, then it won't be a big jump to go to college. It will just be normal. And you're right. I mean, your school sounds amazing. I mean, I don't know I'm curious what school that was because that is not happening in every school.
It's a private school, and they get to put more energy into stuff like planners. We have plenty of teachers. So your gift really is for parents who have college-age students, high school-age students, or even middle school or elementary age students who will be going that route. Because really, it's never too soon to learn time management, to learn some responsibilities, and to practice those skills. Because you don't want to wait until you're a college freshman to be like, how do I use a planner?
Yeah, and the 6 secrets are a bunch of other things, some related to stress, how to deal with stress, healthy habits, all sorts of things, setting goals that are relevant at any age, really. So,
and always a great conversation to have with your kids, because I think adults just go, oh, I'm just living my life. And then the kids go, oh, okay, I'm just living my life. And nobody talks about how that transition happens and what's going on there.
Exactly. And it's really, to me, it's sad because they so much effort to get into college. Everybody talks about getting in and preparing for those exams to get in. And then they kind of just left, just assuming that they'll be fine when they get there. And a lot of them aren't. 30% drop out after freshman year.
Well, the getting in is the hard part. The staying in is like the harder part. It's like the actual work, right? Yeah. But once you're in, you're just like, shoot. And then you're like, wait, there's more stuff? Come on, right? I kind of compare it to, although I'm not a parent nor am I married, but I compare it to a wedding because I have been a bridesmaid at least 37 times. Everybody plans for years for the perfect wedding.
There's a movie in that.
Yes, I know. When that movie came out, my mom was like, oh, that's you. And I was like, not cool, Mom. Not cool. True, but not cool. So people spend all this time and money and effort and energy planning their wedding and put like zero effort and energy into planning their marriage. And you're like, you plan for that one moment, that one day, like those 2 hours, but like you've got a long time after that and you haven't even thought about that. And I think college is similar. People spend a lot of time like, gotta get in. And they get there and they're like, wait, there's more stuff?
Right.
So yeah, thank you so much for that, Dale.
Dale, can I ask you a fun question?
Sure.
Awesome. And yours, I'm just going straight down the list, but it's because this is part of it. So what part of elementary school do you wish you could incorporate into your adult life?
Oh my gosh. What part of elementary school? You know what people are doing now, which I think I actually really love doing in elementary school, is coloring. And I know that is coming back for adults as a stress reducer. Now, I haven't tried it myself, but I think I really should. I like getting all those colors and keeping in the lines and making it all fancy. So, because I can create something myself. I'm not that artistic, but to put it into a coloring book, I could handle that.
They definitely do have adult coloring books because my cousin bought a bunch of them. And sometimes I see her just in the corner, just going at it. And they're like really elaborate coloring books, which is, I guess, what makes them for adults. That is lovely. Well, Dale, thank you so much for coming and sharing about how students can be more successful both in college and in life. So if you are a parent to any type of child, even an adult child, because we all can learn more about stress reducing and time management, all this different stuff, you will want to go to JVologyGiveaway.com and get your hands on Dale's gift and over 60 other amazing gifts. So Dale, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks a lot. Take care.
You know what's really cool about stuff like that, like working with students, is that everything they go through, you get to experience fresh all over as if it was the first time. Like seriously, every time I see my students graduate, they get so excited about, graduation, and you get all excited again. And it's like, I thought I only got to do this once, but every single year you're like, oh, you get, you have all the buzz. It's really fun. So I love talking to Dale. On that note, we have our next contributor here. So we're going to bring her up on the stage. Welcome, Megan.
Megan!
Hi, ladies.
Hello,
Good to
how
see
you
you.
doing?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Awesome. You're looking very tropical today. Whereabouts in the world are you?
I live in Maui.
Nice.
I thought you were going to be like, this is just my backyard.
It is.
Well, it is my backyard. I was going to try to get myself to the beach for this, but the Wi-Fi is unreliable. So I was like, well, let's just play it safe. So tropical background for you.
First world problems. Sometimes we can't make it all the way to the beach because of our Wi-Fi. Like, who hasn't
I
done that,
know.
right? So, Megan, let's start by introducing you to the community. Let us know who you are and what you do. What is your passion?
Oh, I love it. Thank you. My passion is helping you to live, move, and feel your best so that you can show up and shine in everything you do and show up in your business as your most centered and confident and charismatic self.
Nice.
Awesome.
And
Thanks.
let's talk about your gift then.
Ooh, okay. Ooh.
Yeah, so what's your gift?
Oh, okay. I was like, do you want me to explain it?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Perfect. Well, I'm so excited to be sharing my Thrive in 5 series. So I know that we all probably would like to have a little bit more time to exercise and or do yoga. And so I created the Thrive in 5 series. So it's 5 sessions that are only 5 minutes each, and they are jam-packed with all sorts of goodness. So you get to pick what you want. There's 2 full body workouts. There's 2 yoga practices, one of which is more relaxing, one is more energizing, and the other one is a wake up your sleeping booty workout. So let's talk about that for a second. We all sit way too much, and when we sit, our muscles get sleepy, including your backside. So the technical term is gluteal amnesia, not as cute as sleeping booty or numb bum. So that's why I have that in there, because I want you to be energized. I want you to be grounded and focused and lower your stress level so you can sleep better and all the good things. So the Thrive in 5 series will help you with that.
I'm downloading.
Yeah, seriously. I like the, well, I don't know if like's the right. I like the name Sleeping Booty. I don't like the experience of it though.
I'm pretty sure she didn't either.
Nobody does.
Yeah, when you said it, I'm just like, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like I'm going to feel very self-conscious this entire day of health and wellness. Every guest, I'm going to be like, yeah. So okay, they're 5 minutes jam-packed with what exactly? Are these all exercises then, or are they like mindset shifts? What exactly is inside here? By the way, I'm going to download this, so no worries. I'm going to get all the details.
Yeah, please do. So the full body workouts are strengthening and toning exercises, and so there's different focus for each one, but they are 5 minutes.
Body?
Yep.
Wow.
I've been doing this for 16 years, so I can make it happen.
Amazing.
Without it feeling rushed, right? Because I know, we all were like, oh, I don't have enough time to exercise. So 5 minutes can be effective with me. And so then the other ones, the yoga sessions are stretches. So the relaxing yoga is more, calming, stretching out tension in your neck and shoulders. The energizing yoga is focused more on standing poses to engage your muscles, which increases blood flow to your brain and to your whole body, so you energize yourself. And then the sleeping booty is mostly booty and core exercises.
Nice. So are these made for people like me that get out of bed in the morning and my calves are so tight that my ankles don't move? Or is this for people that can pretzelify themselves and
No, they're for everybody. Yeah. And see, that's the thing. That's one of the, myths and misconceptions about yoga, is that people think yoga is all about like turning into like a Cirque du Soleil pretzel, when really it's about the opportunity for you to practice being you to practice being present, you practice being patient and compassionate with your body as you're moving it, through its comfortable range of motion. So I work with a variety of different people. So the sessions are designed to meet you where you're at, and to encourage you to challenge yourself, but also stay in your safe, pain-free range of motion so that you end up feeling awesome when we finish.
So besides the whole I don't have time, which you've solved that by creating these 5 minute bite-sized pieces, which everybody has 5 minutes. Everybody has 5 minutes. What's the next biggest kind of block that you see people having when they come to you, where you're like, we can solve that problem? So one is there's not enough time. What's another one?
I have too many things to do. It kind of, parallels not enough time. But when we own a business or we are, entrepreneur, oftentimes we are so kind of mildly obsessed with our to-do list for a good reason, but we tend to put ourselves at the bottom of that, and we make ourselves less and less of a priority. But we've all heard the oxygen mask analogy and filling the cup and all those things. So when you take care of yourself and you show up feeling good, then everything else flows and you're more creative, you're in the zone, you have better content, you have better interactions, and then in effect, you actually get more done in less time. So you're creating time when you take care of yourself. But sometimes it's hard to convince people of that.
All I have to do is look at my cat as she goes into her little yoga poses. And it's like, hold on, this is way more important than you are right now. Like, oh my God, I need to do that. I'm jealous.
Yeah. So definitely not having time and thinking that there are things that are more important. I can see those coming up a lot, especially for business owners who, as you said, are mildly obsessed with our to-do list, have a lot of stuff on our plate. What is typically, you mentioned it now, why it's important, but what's typically the advice you would give people who say, yeah, I'm on the list, but I'm at the bottom because blah, blah, blah is more important? What's something that you do to kind of make them take that first step in maybe shifting that mindset?
I ask them, out of these following things, what is the common denominator? Your business, your clients, your time, your energy. What's the common denominator?
In my case, me.
You, yes, exactly. Therefore,
Yeah.
you are essential in your business, and how you show up will influence everything, as I just mentioned. So if you can make yourself a priority by giving yourself 5 minutes, and if you tell me, I don't have 5 minutes, then we need to talk about, what that means for you long term, because the reality of it is stress and illness is related to every major chronic disease and problems that we may potentially have down the road. So you can look at this from an ROI perspective as well, is that you're investing time and energy into your own health and well-being, which means down the road, you have to take less time away for sick times, injuries, illnesses. So that in itself will pay for it, long term. And so again, the costs of stress and low reproductivity and all those things, sometimes we think of it from a workplace wellness perspective, but if you are your business, it means it's even more important that you are thriving.
So is this something that I can do, like, it's 5 minutes at the top of the hour, my call is over, I can go do this right now and then come back to my class, or am I going to look like crap afterwards, so I got to go have a shower and blah, 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 and I should leave it to the end of the day?
Both. I would suggest
Awesome.
you do.
That was a great answer. I'm good with that, because that means I get a 2-for-1 in this whole thing. I get to download it. I get my 5-minute exercises between my appointments, and I get a real workout afterwards.
Exactly. And I suggest people start with it at the beginning of the day, because it energizes your core muscles. So you're less likely to go into the ouchy slouchy and have the sleeping booty and all those things.
I love
So
you, like,
thank you.
awesome.
So, if you're just looking for a little pick me up, then the yoga ones are not going to leave you especially sweaty. And the other ones are only 5 minutes. And you're going to have a workout, but you're not going to be like, I got to go have a shower. Maybe, depending on how hard you push yourself, but you probably could recover pretty quickly and then go back to work.
That's why you have that perfect skin that you have. It's like, yeah, I'm ready to go. That's awesome. Awesome. This has been fun. Megan, can I ask you a fun question?
Sure.
Awesome. Let's see here. What is a Disney cartoon or character that you were inexplicably afraid of as a kid?
Well, Sleeping Booty would make sense in based on the conversation. Although I wasn't that scared of her, but I was really afraid of. Did you ever see the Disney movie called The Watcher in the Woods? It wasn't a cartoon, but it was a Disney movie. It wasn't very scary, but I was a kid and it was scary for me.
That sounds scary.
Yeah, it's familiar, but I can't really remember it.
Well, yeah, was that about that wasn't about the huntsman from Snow White, was it?
No, that was called The Huntsman.
Oh, okay, because he was freaky too.
Yeah, I vaguely remember that. And Disney does have some legit scary stuff. Like, I took my brother to see a Disney cartoon thinking, it's scary, but it's Disney, it's a cartoon. And he was like, I don't want to be here. I want to leave the theater. I can't be here. And I was like, but I really want to see how this movie ends. So.
Just hide under the chair. You'll be fine.
Yeah, did not get the Sister of the Year award that year. Well, thank you, Megan, so much for joining us. Thanks for sharing your energy and your passion. And I am Like, you're just so cool. Like, I would love for you to be my personal trainer if only you were not all the way in Hawaii.
Maui.
Luckily, I do virtual sessions.
Ooh, yay. Okay, hopefully I'll hear more about that after clicking through your gift. So thank you so much for coming and joining us. If you want to get your hand on Megan's gift, you can go to JVologyGiveaway.com. The link is in the comments, or you can just type that up in the Google, and you can get both Megan's gift and over 60 other amazing gifts. So thank you, Megan, so much for joining us.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me. Great to chat with you both.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Welcome back.
Almost a 5-second commercial.
I know. And I was trying to click something. I don't even know what I was trying to click. Oh, I think I was trying to, I don't even know. And then I went to some other tab and I was like, oh no, how long is the commercial? Where am I? But I'm back. So we have our next contributor here backstage. I want to welcome you to the stage. Hello, Christy.
Hey, how are you, girls?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing fabulous. Thank you.
Wonderful. I like that answer. Fabulous.
Fabulous.
So let's start by introducing you to the community. Let us know who you are and what you do. What is your passion?
All right. Well, I have been a part of this community for over a year, maybe even longer. And I help women and a few brave men be able to leverage their story to attract more clients for their business and the right clients. So using their story in their brand as well as in a book, there's a lot of different ways leveraging your story works. And that's kind of what I do right now is I support women in that area.
Awesome. So tell us more about, I have a couple questions. Let me start with a big picture question. How did you get into this?
Oh, so I'm going to give you the long 18-year story condensed into hopefully 18 seconds. I started a women's networking organization back in 2003. On that journey, somebody asked me to share my story. It was a transformational experience for me as well as my business. That led me to create a project where I help other women share their stories that has since evolved into this whole arena of different ways to be able to get story out there. Books, podcasts, doing events like this. So just being able to utilize our story to build our brand a little bit stronger in the world and be seen above all the competition.
So tell us more about story. So when you say your story, I'm picturing that people have more than one story. So what do you mean by your story?
Yes. So, I mean, story in general is really the best way for us as trainers, teachers, coaches to teach people. It's also a really great way to bring in the people that are going to resonate with us. Because let's face it, we're not the only one out there selling our products and service, but our story is what makes us unique. And yes, there are a lot of stories. I have like a story bank of different things that I pull from. But we want to really identify our signature story, why we're so passionate about what we do now. That is what is kind of our big why and why other people are drawn to us. We also want to use other stories, whether it's during teaching or in our marketing, because story is what really people connect with. And so, there's just so many. And then in your marketing and on your website, you want to make sure people, one of the biggest things that I see all the time is when I go visit somebody's website and I go to their about page and there's nothing about them. And I kind of that's a missed opportunity, is because when people read about you and why you're doing what you're doing, it's really why people want to learn more about you.
Yeah, and just to clarify, even though we want the about page to be about them, it shouldn't all be about them, right? Because that's the advice that I've heard. Tell us more about that about page story situation, because here's what I've seen. I've seen the people who are saying, okay, this is supposed to be about my clients. So if you come to the about page, it's just like about me. I've helped 17,000 women, and it's like sort of about them, but not really about them at all. You don't get to know them anymore as a person. Uh-huh. But then I've seen the other side, which is where I tend to fall, and I don't think it's super successful, where it's too much of your story and it's just like, well, what does that have to do with what you do? So tell us a little bit more about your story and the about page and what that's supposed to do for your website?
That's a really great question, because we do want to use our about page and share our story to position our expertise. But in the end, it's really not about us. It's about our client seeing themselves in us. And so, yes, we want to speak to their wants, their wishes, their desires, because we're there to serve them. But they need to see, basically, if they see our story and the success we've had, they kind of see themselves accomplishing that same success. So it's kind of like a twofold. We want it to be about them, but we want it to be about them through our story. We're the guide, right? We're the guide to help them accomplish their dreams and goals.
So it's really about how you position that story, is what I'm hearing.
Yep.
So do you help people to position their story? Because I can say, hey, yeah, the reason I got into this tech thing was to help people like you to grow your business, do blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden something just falls flat.
Right.
Which happens a lot.
Right. So yes, I think the biggest thing that people have a hard time is discerning their stories, because we're too like in the middle. I can't even do it myself for my own story. I needed to have a coach kind of help me through it, because we see all of the details and we see it from the inside. And so what I do is I help them, like somebody will be on a call with me and they go through all of these different ideas, and I like see it so clearly. Like to me, it's just like plain as day what their signature story is. And I help them really find clarity around that and then be able to share in a way that takes that person on that journey.
So on that note, tell us
Yes.
about it then.
Yes. So I have created what I call my Story Selling Made Easy system. And there's a lot of different components to it, but it will really help people discern what their signature story is and how to share it in a way that's going to be compelling. I also have included my story creation template, and that is the actual template I use when I have these like coaching calls with my clients, and helps you actually put the story kind of framework in place. So then you just have to fill in the blanks, like fill in the stories. We identify what that story is, where that pain was, how you overcame it, what are the teaching points that you want to share with the audience, whether it's speaking or in a book or wherever. And then finally, like end with what is the next step for that person, because we always want to start with the end in mind. And once they've learned from you and have been inspired by you and feel more empowered to take their next step, you need to be able to offer some sort of next step for you to help them. And if you kind of know that end in mind and be able to determine like, what is it, like basically like a free gift, a lead magnet, or something that you can share your story and then bring them into your world so they can have a taste of how you can support them. And then just you can take them through your prospect journey. But the thing about this Story Selling Made Easy program is it will take you from the beginning to the end to discerning your story, to creating it, and how to leverage it.
That is awesome. That's great that someone can go through this. So I'm guessing it's a digital course, or is it like videos? How do people receive this information that they go through?
Yep, it is a mini course. There are 7 modules to go through the process. The template is a separate download, and you can just take that template, or there's a 2-video module that will go over that template as well. I also have a brand escalation blueprint, which is basically a checklist of how you should make sure that your story is showing up, like all the different places that you need to make sure your story is showing up in some way or another. So all of those things are in the system. And once the audience here through this giveaway opts in, then that way they just basically get access to the gift, my gift portal.
So that sounds so cool. I'm definitely going to get my hands on that gift, because I've just never really been able to nail it. Like I've just never really been able to nail my story or what even people are talking about. So I'm excited that you've got like this step-by-step pathway that I can kind of go through on my own time to figure out what my story is, use the template, put up a better about page than I currently have, and probably enhance my emails, because I would like to add more story to my emails, which currently are very, very logical and very straightforward, because that's kind of my jam. So tell me, let's say I do that. Let's say I go through your course and at the end I'm like, okay, I think I got my signature story, but I still want to know more. Like I want to know more ways that I could use this, or I really want to go deeper into this. What's the next step that people can take with you if they want more of you?
Yes. So one of the things that I've been doing for the last 8 years, and I've helped hundreds, if not almost thousands of people be able to determine their signature story. And then, well, I wouldn't say thousands, but at least 300 as far as sharing them in a book. And so I have produced a series of co-authored books, anthology books, where you write a chapter and you identify your signature story as well as the teaching points and include that gift. And it gives you a lot of visibility. Because although having your own book, I believe, is like the number one goal, it does take a lot of time and money. And this is that first baby step to be able to accomplish that. Plus, you get a lot of visibility. So that is one of my core programs is my Overcoming Mediocrity project. And not only does the audience have the opportunity to be in a book, but we have an amazing podcast and a lot of different ways that we are able to share our clients and our client stories and all of their programs with the world.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that. Last question before we ask you the fun question.
Yes.
Who's the ideal audience member for you? Who's the type of person who should take advantage of your gift?
Yeah, well, so this is for the coaches and the industry experts who are out there building their visibility brand. Anytime that you need to speak in front of an audience to bring people in, I think that would be the ideal client, because our story is what we really need to have as the core piece of our marketing, our message, our everything that we're doing out there. So entrepreneurs and small business owners, I would say, would be, I know that's like that's like everybody. It's like saying who, like for Mary Kay, who do you want to serve? Everybody with skin, right?
You're muted, Michelle.
I was going to say only people with an about page on the website, or ones that don't have an about page on the website.
There you go.
Only those two types
Everybody
of
with a
people.
website, or everybody that wants to have a website. How's that?
But you know what? That's actually true. I usually tell people they need to niche down a lot. That's what I tell my clients, and I stand by that wholeheartedly. And everybody does need to work on their story. So
yeah,
this is a case where this does fit everybody, and probably you need to apply it to your own specific realm.
Yeah.
Michelle, do we have a fun question?
I do. Can I ask you one, Christine?
Oh gosh, I don't know if I'm going to have as fun of an answer like sleeping booty though.
I don't know. You may not even have an answer to this one, but you're a storyteller, so I'm thinking you can make one up. So what was the name of your first car?
Oh, the name of it? Oh my gosh, seriously. So it's a Toyota Corolla, which is now the car I have now. Believe it or not, I've come all for full circle. I love the car, but I didn't have a name for it. So this is like, okay, so what am I going to make up?
What? You didn't name your car? You name your cars?
You know what? I named my motorcycle.
Ooh, what's your motorcycle?
So I've named all my motorcycles. So my first motorcycle was a black Sportster. Of course, I called her Sporty because I thought she was the coolest thing in the world. And then I had a purple Fat Boy. So my kids loved Barney, like is growing up. So called him Barney.
I love Barney.
Barney.
That's a book title, I think.
Yeah.
There are a lot of jokes around that. I'm going to go ride Barney, whatever.
That's a great answer.
Yeah.
I told you, I wish I had a couple of Barney songs in my head, but I blocked those out.
Yeah,
very,
you don't want them in
very
your
well.
head because then they don't come back out. Well,
No.
Christy, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for sharing about your gift and your passion. If you want to get your hands on Christy's gift, which I will be doing, make sure to go to JVologyGiveaway.com. The link is in the comments. You can scroll up and find them, and you can get Christy's gift and over 60 other amazing gifts by going there. Plus, we have a little special bonus that you see only after you sign up for the giveaway, and it's a one-time only situation, so you definitely want to go there and check it out. Yeah, and Tony and Greg, they're saying mine was Blue Sky. That's a cute name. So thank you so much, Christy, for joining us.
Well, thanks, ladies. It was great to be on here.
Awesome. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Next, we have our very own Christine here to share about her gift. So hello and welcome.
Hello, hello. Welcome to you too.
Well, thank you for having us.
Yeah.
So I know we have just a shortened amount of time with you today, so let's jump right in. Let us know, let the community know who you are and what you do. What is your passion?
I'm Christine Bennett Clark, and I am passionate about helping entrepreneurs, coaches, authors, speakers, course creators build their email list. It was a big, big mistake I made when I started out online by not building my list because I didn't know what I wanted to do or where I was at. So I didn't do anything. Big mistake. Start your list no matter what. Create that lead magnet and get it going. So you want to build your list, and you're going to be refining your list as you go along anyways. So you might as well start it now.
That is a very good point. Yes, you need to build your list. And on the note of building your list, let us know about your gift.
Because I started late, I figured out all the different ways you can start building your list. So I put together the 8 top email list building strategies, and I did it as a checklist with difficulty ratings. So you can figure out which ones take more time and which ones are harder, which ones are easier. So there's 8 different ways in there. And if I may say, I would suggest if you look at the quiz funnel, it's probably the most productive of the ways to build your email list, because it can be automated. Like you can do a giveaway like this, which are great. I do lots of giveaways. I built my list from 0 when I finally got it together to 2,700 just by doing giveaways. So they're very, very profitable, very productive, but you can't automate them. You do a giveaway and then you've got to do another giveaway. And then you do a giveaway and then you got to do another one. Same for summits, right? Summits are very, very productive for building your email list too. But a quiz funnel, you can actually automate and drive Facebook traffic to your quiz, and then it just puts it through an automatic funnel. And I think the term is bida bomb, bida boom.
Bada boom, bada bing. Yep, that's you nailed it.
I really good at reversing things. That's one of the things that I'm really good at.
A lot of something. But the point is, the big idea is growing your list. So I like how you have 8 different ways to grow your list, because one of our contributors on the first or second day, I forget which one, said that, if somebody tells you there's only one way to do something, they're lying to you, because there's always more than one way to skin a cat, to use a horrible analogy.
Horrible phrase, but I get it.
Yeah. Why do we even have that analogy? I don't know. But there's more than one way to do something. And having 8 different ways to build your list, and also having it broken down by difficulty level, is really helpful, because then people can know kind of where to start. Like if you don't have any list, maybe start with the easier things. Once those things are kind of running for you and maybe automated, then you can move up to the more difficult things, right?
Yeah. And I would suggest, I don't know if I said this just now, but the place you need to start is by building your irresistible lead magnet. Like you really have to have that gift to give away. And, I've seen that a lot of people really don't spend enough time at it. To really refine it. And it really needs to be, you build your gift in alignment with what your goal is, or what your offer is, right? Because that's the beginning of the funnel. That's the beginning of the path. And if they're out of alignment, then it's not going to work for you. It'll probably work, but not as well, right?
Yes, 100%. If your lead magnets don't line up with your goals or what you do, it does get a little bit weird. But even if it's weird, the point is grow your list, because people will leave your list when your list is no longer relevant. But if you don't have a list to start with, there's nothing for you to work with. So definitely check out Christine's gift. Head on over to JVologyGiveaway.com. The link is in the comments, or you can just Google it, and sign up to get Christine's gift and over 60 other amazing gifts, so that at least you can get started, because I don't want analysis paralysis or perfection to get in the way of getting started, because building your list, like Christine said, is super, super important to building a healthy business. So thank you so much, Christine, for coming and joining us today.
Thank you for having me. And it's been wonderful. I've been watching the others. Good job. Great. Well done. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Thanks.
I love the wink. Yeah, it's just like so friendly. So we have our next contributors, and again, we've got a 2-for-1 situation going on here. So we want to welcome to the stage Antonia and Greg.
Hey! Good to see you guys.
Yeah,
Yay!
see you too.
Woo!
So let everybody know. Let's introduce you guys to the community. Let everybody know who you guys are and what you do. What is your passion?
Yeah, so for 25 years, we've been passionate about really helping people move forward in their life, in their business, in their health, and be able to do the things that are most important to them. So, you know, the thing is that the people that we work with who are coaches, healers, speakers, entrepreneurs, who it makes a difference how they feel. It makes a difference how they step into their day to get things done. So our jam is helping people be able to get through the things that hold you back, that so that you can really prosper and feel great and feel like you're being successful instead of just kind of beating yourself up.
And being yourself, being full of yourself, so your perfect client can see exactly who you are and know, oh, I want you. That's who I want.
So tell us. Oh wait, can you hear us?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. I'm like, are we muted? or
Now
not
I can
muted?
see you.
Yeah.
Hey.
So tell us how you got into this work. Like, what inspires you to keep doing this every single day? What keeps you going?
Oh my gosh. Well, I think the thing that keeps me going is seeing our people like feel better and go out, and they like, a lot of them already have clients and they have a business, but something happens that kind of, stops them or throws them off their game. And then we're able to come in and be like, oh, here, let's talk to your body and figure out what's going on. And then their body's like, oh yeah, let me show you. And it goes exactly to where that block or that emotional turmoil happened. We can clear it out of their body. And all of a sudden, like 3 hours later, they're like, oh, I just got another client. Oh, I just got a speaking gig. Oh, I just did that. And having those kind of really fast, amazing results just makes me like, oh, like Tony Robbins says, why only go after 1,000 people? Go after 1,000,000. So that's what we're doing.
I love Tony.
Well, I
really love it, Tony.
That was a good saying.
I really do. I'm trying to pull up your gift here. There we go. So let me just share the screen with your gift so that we can talk a little bit about what you have to offer to the people. So let us know about your gift and who it's for.
Yeah, so this is really a multi-step gift, which is kind of cool. So what we find is that when people are in their day and they start to be like going down the rabbit hole, not getting things done, not being able to really be fully themselves, they need a process to get out of that thing so that they can start to create again, so that they can start to produce what's really important for them. So the switch is that process. And we use this with all of our clients and
with ourselves.
Because if you can't like go forward and get the things done that are really important, you get stuck and you never get to the next level. So the switch is all about what you do in that moment when things start to get difficult and you start to go down the rabbit hole. And this allows you to really switch out of it and start to be productive. And productivity is really about, not procrastinating and being able to create profit in your business. And what's cool about this gift is it's a multi-piece where you get the switch. We also have a masterclass that goes with it. And when you watch the masterclass, you get a total success roadmap call with us. And that's what we do with all of our clients. And it's in our high-end mastermind. And it's something that we do every month with people where we set the course for what they're going to do. So we get to look at your business, what might be holding you back, what your really important actions and goals are, and how to get going on those and be successful.
And the perfect offerings for your own unique genius, your own unique gifts and how you want to be out in the world, we can help you figure that out and really get that out there so that it's just right for you, so that you feel comfortable delivering it. It's right in your pocket and you can do it anytime.
And that's a one-on-one private call with us. So the gift is
Pretty
actually
fun.
pretty valuable. It's something that we
Free
charge
things.
a lot of money for. You get it for free.
Another 3-for-1 gift. We got a couple of those yesterday. And this giveaway, it just, it's the gift that keeps on giving. We just have such incredible gifts and contributors, as you guys who are watching can tell. So Antonia and Greg, first of all, is that one-on-one call for everybody who signs up, or is there some limit, like the first 10, the first 20?
So we would love to have, it is not limited as far as numbers, but we'd love you to go through the masterclass so that you can kind of get an idea of a lot of the things that we're talking about as far as the things that might be in your way. And we go deep dive into that so that you can kind of go, oh yeah, that's me, or this other thing. And then we can really get into that in the call and be able to give you some real definitive what to do.
Yeah, individual, very specific to your business. This is all about whoever's in front of us. That's what's important, helping them move forward and getting around whatever roadblocks they have.
And I love the name of that program, The Switch, because it really is. And I've been through the program, so I know, because I can attest to it. It is awesome. And it's really about being able to kind of find yourself going down that mental rabbit hole and just being able to switch it off and go, no, I'm not playing this game, and off to productivity and being able to get to go where you want to go. And that was fantastic.
Yeah. And feeling better when you're doing it. I love that whole switch into like, oh, I feel good. I'm ready to go.
Exactly.
So on that note, who would be the perfect person for this gift? Who's your ideal audience member to take advantage of actually these 3 gifts in one?
It's really interesting. What we find is that the people who really gravitate towards what we do are coaches who are healers. So in their process, they understand how much entrepreneurs, it's really a personal growth game, where as you deal with the things in your life that have been difficult experiences and have those show up in your business, the people who have those folks in their audience are perfect for us, because they understand how important it is for them to be able to, get clarity, to be able to have the confidence to move forward really, really well and clear.
So there you have it, folks. This is something specifically for healers, which I think is really good, because I have the sense that's not my jam. I'm not in the healer camp, but I have the sense that there's not a lot of things that are specifically geared towards healers, towards coaches who are healers. There's not a lot of spaces where they are embraced, right? Because a lot of business spaces tend to be more that left brain, very analytical type stuff. And people who are healers or more intuitive can sometimes probably feel a little bit left out of the mix. So I like that you're like, we work with you. This is for you. This is your space.
Yeah. I mean, those are the people who really, really connect. And in our year-long and our mastermind and stuff, we have a lot of just regular business people. We have artists and coaches and speakers as well. So that's kind of the whole gamut of it is regular business people really like it too.
Nice. So regular people, it's also
regular people.
Regular people.
Unlike
We
the
help
rest.
everyone, even you regular people. You're a little weird, but we'll
Yeah, no, us weirdos.
So Michelle, do you have a fun question?
Do you have fun? Can I ask you guys a fun question?
Yeah.
Awesome. Always like to ask permission, because this may send you off in left field. What were words that you couldn't pronounce as a child, so you just made up your own word?
Well, I could pronounce everything. What are you talking about?
Well, so how
I'm an
when
English
you started
major.
to speak?
When I started to speak.
So for me, because I liked to keep things a little bit weird as far as keeping people off guard, I loved to talk backwards. I could literally talk backwards. So my name is Eel Gerg, and by the time I was like 15, people who were my friends would call me Eel Gerg. That's Greg Lee backwards. Too backwards talk can I.
That is awesome.
a very cool human trick. So, because I was like, what do you mean by backwards? Do you mean like the letters? Do you mean the words? Yeah, I got all into
You
that.
can do both ways. It's like the words, or you can do the letters.
We'll go with that one.
Okay, fair enough.
I think that was good enough for both
For
of
both
us.
of you.
I
right?
think so. I think so. We'll call that for both of you. Well, thank you so
Awesome.
much, Antonia and Greg, for sharing about your heart and your passion and your
Thanks,
3
Antonia.
gifts in one. If you are watching and you're a healer and a coach or even a regular person, you can grab their gift by going to JVologyGiveaway.com and get your hands on their gift and over 60 other incredible gifts. So thank you so much, Antonia and Greg.
Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you. Good to
Bye.
see you. Bye.
And we are just trucking along here.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I know. So we've already got our next contributor backstage. We're going to bring her up to the stage, and we want to say welcome to Eliana. Hello.
Yay, you're in the house.
Hi. So let's
What
start
a
by
great-
introducing. What'd you say?
I really enjoyed that last regular
Awesome.
people and healers.
Yeah, that was great. I mean,
They're
one
adorable.
of those things where it's, a lot of our gifts are for everybody, but we also have
Yeah.
those little like grooves where that's just who
Yeah.
we attract. And I think that's really special. And I think that's really good because everybody wants to feel like they belong. And it's a way to do it in a way that doesn't exclude other people. It's just like,
Yeah.
these are the people that like us. That's all. So speaking of people that like us, let us know a little bit about you so that we can get to know and like you too. I would love to introduce you to our community. Let's start by having you tell us who you are and what you do. What is your passion?
My passion, I am on this world and in this world to rid the world of fear of being who you are and expressing who you are, one authentic voice at a time. I am here to create an environment where professionals, whether you're a hard business person and way down to the healing professional, to connect, to dare stop long enough to connect to your inner clarity and have the courage and confidence to express it outwards so that people are inspired and want more of whatever it is that you have to give.
That is awesome. So I want to know how that pertains to the gift because I have a ton of questions for you. So
The gift is, I'm majorly excited about the gift. The gift is clear and confident presentations. It's a quick start training and action guide. And it was actually birthed following my first of 2 TED Talks where I'm a former CBS broadcaster and I blacked out. We're talking total blackout. I know how to present. It is not about getting it all right. Because if it was my voice that broadcast to 60 million American viewers. If you happen to watch the Olympics from Albertville, France, it was my voice that you heard. So the presentation is not the issue. It's what goes on inside and then how it manifests itself or does not on the outside. And
that is awesome. So a lot of people I know, they get up to presentations, even if it's to their weekly networking group or whatever, when it's their turn to talk, and all of a sudden they start to get the sweats, they start to stutter, they start doing weird things that they don't normally do. Like, is it that normal that people kind of go into shock right before they speak?
Yeah, because I mean, I do. I
Well,
enjoy speaking.
you do.
Yeah, and you know what I think it is? It's that the essence of all matter, the atom is vibratory, right?
Mm-hmm.
And sound waves are that most intimate of matter, which is our voice. So it makes sense to me that when we, in essence, no matter what you're doing, no matter what your profession, when you go to speak, you're in essence bearing your soul, and that we're not acculturated to that. So it makes sense that it would be not only normal, I think if it didn't happen, then you're like totally shut off from your
You're not
emotions.
paying attention to the things you should be paying attention to when you
Yeah,
go on
yeah.
stage. I had done that once. I was wearing a pair of 6-inch stilettos, and I'm like, oh yeah, I got this. Walked up, got my heel caught in the stick.
God, what happened? How did you
One
recover
moment.
from that?
That is literally
One
my
moment.
my single and only fear when it comes to speaking when I'm wearing fancy clothes is always like, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall, don't trip, don't trip,
It's a
don't
terrible
fall.
thing
That's
to
what I
tell
say to
yourself.
myself all the way up to the
It's
stage
terrible.
until I get to the front, and then I'm like, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and then it's fine. And then on the way back down, it's like, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall, don't trip. That's only when I'm wearing heels, because I only wear them for those super fancy occasions. But if I just switched to flats, we would have no problems. Like, I wouldn't even have those thoughts. So
The best one I ever saw was one guy going on, and he fell right off the stage, and he just bounced right back, and he goes, and when you're down on the bottom of the stage, down to talking people's level, they understand you better.
he was wearing like a moving
awesome.
mic. He was like wearing like a mic on him or something.
Yeah, it was, you had a level there.
God,
So
yeah,
he
and
just
then he
kept
has
going, and it was awesome.
Or the opposite side of that, which is like death by PowerPoint. You know, it's like, 'cause you don't want to go there, right? So then you get all these people who have perfect presentations, and they do, and it's like, kill me now.
You know, I was in college. I was at a conference where we were all sharing our research, and this was my first time going to like a national conference, my very first time. So I was like super nervous, and I think I was a freshman or something, so I was super nervous. And the guy right before me was practicing his slideshow, and it had like all the transitions, and it was really cool. Back in the day, it was like, you know, like a dice being rolled and like all this cool stuff. And I was like, oh man, all I have is like next. I think I had dissolve. You know, I just had very simple, you know, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna feel so embarrassed in my presentation because his looks so nice. But turns out he had spent all of his time crafting the most beautiful PowerPoint ever, but not enough time actually with the presentation. The stuff that you're talking about, Eliana, the confidence, the content, and stuff like that.
You know, I just did to support our giveaway. I just did a lot every Wednesday in our Healing Voices Facebook group. I have a Voice of Wisdom Wednesday broadcast. It's kind of like a teaching, and so I thought, well, it would be really fun to deal with like your gift. I said like the gift that keeps on giving. You know, your unique voice, your unique offer, and how the thing that we think is what's going to help us give our gift is perfectionism. You know, we think like you're just saying, Charisse, you know, it's like, oh, it's like the best.
Beautiful transitions.
Gorgeous. The background, you're wearing, you know, the stiletto heel, you know, you're just everything to the nines. But then there's nobody home.
Yeah, she left the building at that point.
You know, and yesterday I was speaking to a client, and she said, you know, I'm so surprised because I have this client who's coming back to me now. She asked, we have a certification program with Healing Voice, and she said, so the client asked to come back just to deal with one of these processes. I said, well, look, she said, but it didn't go the way that I thought it would go. I'm so used to doing things a certain way. She goes, I don't know, like I felt really embarrassed. Like she was like my student. No, I was the student. She was the teacher yesterday. She was kind of teaching me. Yeah, exactly. Like that's the good news, and we don't hear that enough. That it's our imperfection. It's, you know, what happens, it's all fine and dandy when everything goes according to plan, but, you know, like, how's it working for you these days? You know?
Exactly. Totally get that.
Goes according to plan. How do you show up? You know, how do you be, you know, how difficult is it to be who we already are? We already are that. How do we show up in that place where we could be who we are and imperfectly, because that's perfectly human. When we show up in that way, we each have a gift to offer that's really important that other people are looking for and need to receive. And I believe that it's really important that we dare be who we are and allow ourselves to show up imperfect, authentic. And that's what this gift is around. You know, how can you how you can show up in that way, that whether you've never been in front of one person before, whether you've never done a Facebook Live or selling from stage, it doesn't matter the where or the what, but the how. And so that you can
So
feel
we're going to make sure that they download your gift, and they're going to take care of that. And we are unfortunately out of time, so we got to say goodbye to you.
Thank you, Eliana.
Have
Thank
a good
you
one
for joining us.
Download it.
Bye.
Bye.
I still can't get over how young Jay looks without like all this hair on his face. It's like one of the amazing things about men, that a little bit of facial hair can add like 10 years or take it away. It's really impressive. And I'm glad that that's not going on with me.
On that
Yeah.
note.
Yeah, or if it was, I'd probably need to get that managed off camera. But yes, we have our next contributor here backstage. So I'm going to go ahead and bring her to the stage. Welcome, Linda.
Hey,
Linda.
hello, Cherise. Hello, Michelle. How are you?
We're doing awesome. How are you?
Excellent.
So let's start by introducing you to our community. I'm just laughing because one of the comments on Facebook says, "How can I get interviewed?" but I can't see.
You want to be really special.
Yeah.
That's how.
I can't see who said it, so I can't give you a legitimate answer.
Well, you can join the giveaway, but then you have to be a member of the Global Lounge, and we'll tell you how to do that after we talk to Linda.
All right.
There we go. That's a really
Join
good
the
answer.
Global Lounge. That's my advice.
Yes. So, and I'll put the link in the chat. So, welcome, Linda. I would love to introduce you to our community. So, let's start by finding out who you are and what you do. Let us know, what is your passion?
Okay. Well, I am. Oh, now I'm big on the screen. So I am a healer and a coach, and I help people grow their intuition. And really, what I help is people learn the truth about themselves. And one of the things I sometimes talk about is I help people understand the why behind the what, which really means like things happen in our lives and we sometimes wonder why is this happening? And I love to help unpack that and actually give people the deep understanding of why things show up that way and how they can grow from every single thing that happens in their lives. The things they are happy about and also the things they're not so happy about. It's all opportunity.
I love that. So, how did you get into this work?
Well, I've been in a.
Did I freeze? Okay, no,
Nope, she rose.
Okay. This has been our lives for the last like 2 years, right? With COVID, where we're like, was that me? My Wi-Fi?
You're on mute. Are you mute?
Yep, that's it. And then you're like, like I told you.
Oh, those people. Can you see me?
You should try teaching online. It's like this.
Learning. and always swirling also.
Okay.
I like to swirl. Clearly my energy is too powerful for this medium.
Okay, so the last thing we heard was I said, what got you into this work? And then you were like, well,
I kept talking. I wasn't sure if it was recording or not, so I figured, what the heck. So I many years ago, in my youth, I just felt really interested in energy work and energy healing. I just thought it was fascinating. So I got certified in Reiki all the way up to Reiki Master. And I was doing a lot of Reiki. And then I felt like, oh, that's great, but I want to go deeper. I think for me, that's always been a real interest, is how do I help people shift as quickly as possible and as deeply as possible, like really root cause. And so I went to a healing school in California and back and forth between Boston. I live in Boston, outside of Boston, and just started doing healing work and have continued to grow and develop. And, some people, I don't know, they're very naturally intuitive, or they grow up feeling really intuitive when they're a kid, but I wasn't one of those people. But it was just something I really wanted. And so I studied it and I worked with different teachers and I grew it. And it took a lot of courage sometimes to say the things I got and not feel like I'm going to be like the weirdest person and people are going to reject me. So, so any of you are out there and you're like, gosh, I think I'm intuitive, but I'm so concerned that if I say stuff, people are going to think like, what planet is she from? Like, I can help that with that because I have been there. And now I know I am really not from this planet. No, I'm.
What planet are you from? Zoltar came to mind for me, and I don't know why, but.
So no, I'm one of these people who believes that we are spirits having a human experience. So our essential nature is to actually be that we are actually essentially spirits, but that our human experience is really helpful. Like we chose to come into these bodies and have an experience. So it's a great place to be. And there's a longing, I think, in most of us to connect to something deeper. And that's really inside of us. It's our own inner connection to divine. And that's really our essence.
That is what I'm going to call super weird. So I just look up Planet Zoltar and it actually exists. And there's like tons and tons of write-ups on it. So I'm going to go back and check that out
Michelle,
later.
I think we better talk about your intuition because I think there's something here for you.
Well, what about your gift? Can this help Michelle figure out why she knows she's from the planet Zoltar all of a sudden?
Totally. Yeah. So I'm really excited about this gift because I created it. It's brand new. It's like hot off the presses. I had a different gift, but I was like, no, for this, I want to do something even better. Not that my old gift isn't good, but 3 secrets to boost your intuition is really, it's fast but powerful. So I don't know how much I should share because they are secrets.
I was going to say, clearly one of the ways is just by hanging around with you because you just tap into that juice right there.
Yeah, and it's funny. It's not in one of the 3 secrets, but maybe it should be that when we elevate our vibration, I know these are like really the woo words, but you know how it is.
Girl, go woo.
Yeah. So, but you know how it is when you are, you walk into some place and it just feels good. Or you walk into somewhere else and you're like, ugh. That's feeling the energy of the vibration of the place. So I think we can all do it. And we can all look at our own vibration. And when you have those great days or when you help yourself have a great day. And sometimes tuning in or being really intentional about increasing our vibration. That's what I like teaching classes because we create a space where everyone's vibration is elevated. And when our vibration's elevated, it's so much easier to tap into your intuition. Clearly, Michelle is an example right here.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, and I have a new podcast. I just have to say,
tell us.
Thank you. It's called Trust Your Wisdom.
Ooh.
Trust Your Wisdom. And so I've done 2 so far, my opening, and then I interviewed someone, and that's really going to be the format. We're going to share a little wisdom one week or every other week, and then interview different people to share other people's wisdom.
So is that podcast live or not yet?
It is not. Oh yeah, it's live. Yeah, you can listen to Trust Your Wisdom on Spotify, on Apple Podcast, on anywhere you get your podcasts.
Fun. So, Lana, this has been a blast. Can I ask you a fun question?
Of course.
Awesome. Well, and I think this is probably pertinent to you. What's the most ridiculous thing your parents ever did to embarrass you?
Oh, gosh, though, that's an interesting question.
Speaking of not wanting to be weird,
when I look at some of the haircuts that I had, some of the pictures of me when I was little with these really short haircuts, that was not a good look for me, it turns out. So I would have to say that was, yeah.
That's
and the fact that they let me get these glasses that were like this big in 6th grade and didn't say don't do that, that was also not helpful.
Yeah, that's more of a 5th
and then they
grade
took pictures
thing.
of it.
Yeah.
And they took pictures of
if
it.
you hit 6th and 7th grade, you can't do that anymore.
No, it was the only thing that was helpful, I think, is for my kids when I was like, see, kids, you look good. Look how mom looked at that age. And they're like, oh my God.
My best friend often jokes that when she was little, her mom used to just kind of like cut her hair, at the kitchen sink or whatever, and it would just be all crazy. Yeah. And her mom used to always say, you look so cute. You look just like a pineapple. And she was always like, who wants to look like a pineapple? She cracks me up every time she tells me this story. You look just like a pineapple.
I'm sure her mom meant it very nicely.
Oh my gosh, her mom thought it was adorable. And her mom's hair is actually really short and kind of looks like a pineapple. And that's like her style. So she thinks it's a cute look. And I think on her it is cute, but I think on my best friend,
Not so
She didn't
much.
love it so much. So Linda, thank you so much for coming and for sharing about your gift and your heart and your passion. If you want to get your hands on Linda's gift, go ahead and head to JVologyGiveaway.com to get Linda's gift and over 60 other amazing gifts. Linda, thank you so much for joining us.
You are so welcome. It was a joy.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
So that was a commercial for our Global Lounge. We're going to introduce our next guest while I look for a link to that to put it into the chat because I know
can do that. I can do that.
Because I know we talked earlier about it, and then I said we'll put a link, but then I forgot until right now with that commercial. Awesome. And then can you also drop it in the Facebook chat?
You know, baby.
Okay. So so actually let me talk a little bit about the Global Lounge and I'll bring up our next person. So the Global Lounge is the community that we have here at JVology for people who want to learn more about joint venture partnerships, who want to find partners, who want to practice giving joint venture invitations, for partners who want to support people. It's a really incredible community to be a part of. You can join for a year and check it all out and experience all the benefits of it, like being able to be a contributor in the giveaway. That's how you get here. It's only for people who are members of our community. Speaking of which, we've got our next community member here, Backstage. We're going to bring her up onto stage. Hello and welcome, Jane.
Woohoo! Oh my gosh. It is so fun. I gotta tell you, I don't know how you guys do it. You must have had bullet coffees this morning because you guys are on fire. Oh my God, it's been so much fun. I've been listening to you since you started this morning, and I have to say, Antonia, I've got a whole list of people that I'm opting in for. So thank you for just profiling them. They've all been amazing.
Awesome. Yes, they are.
Yeah,
can I do like a really quick add-on commercial for the lounge?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, put it on full screen.
Yeah. So I went to JVology Live. It was my first experience. It was so great. You know, we all are invited to these live experiences, and there's breakouts, and there's we all have to just carve out that time. It was such a great experience. So anybody has to just be there because it's such an amazing experience. I've been in business for 34 years. I've done a lot of networking, and it was so amazing. But I decided to do the lounge, and I got to tell you, it's been fun for me. I've been at this for 34 years, but I've learned so much, and it's been such a great community. So just thank you to you guys, because I think the lounge, the JVology Lounge, it's just a place where people can be safe. Whether you're in the early stages or like me, who's this is my 8th business launch and I'm still learning. So I just wanted to give you guys some props.
That was beautiful. And we're going to snag that video. Probably Michelle.
We put that on everything.
Okay, good. Good. Yep. You already have my release, Michelle.
Yeah, great. Because I wasn't going to ask for that. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. So I appreciate that, and
we have loved you in the community. Got to tell you, Jane, you've been an absolute blast. So
well, I'm gonna be more in it. I just have to say, because we're launching a software company, so there's a lot of moving parts. So I'm excited to be able to.
You're a little
play.
busy.
Yeah, just a little. Oh my God.
So tell us more about you, Jane. Tell the community about who you are and what you do. What is your passion?
So the common thread through all 8 businesses, 34 years. So and a little celebration is those 8 businesses over 34 years I've launched with my husband. So I get props for that. Can I get a thumbs up for we're still in love. We still love what we're doing. And I know that resonates with people, but the common thread is really empowering thought leaders, people who have a message for the world, people who are really on a mission to transform change in whatever niche, health and wellness, finances, relationship, parenting, it doesn't really matter. Our common thread is to empower them to not just, be out in the world. So here's what I'll say. I looking at the past couple of days and who's in this JVology giveaway. What I love is that you guys have curated, and a lot of these people are about helping you get your message out, helping you live a more meaningful and grounded and healthy life. And I would say, I messaged, I think you, Charisse, how do I take I'm on Health and Wellness Day. what is that about? But here's where I think that the bridge is, that one of the greatest things that you can do to be happy and healthy and have a joyful experience of entrepreneurship is to not have to worry about the money piece. And that's really where we come in. So the tool that we're going to talk about, the passion project that I have right now, is the relaunch of a software tool that we've actually been using with clients over 5 years. And then in January, my son, Alex, who's 24, he came to his dad and I and said, you know, he majored in entrepreneurship, he has coding experience, all of this. He said, Mom and Dad, like, let me just help you, like, just take this to every entrepreneur because this is such a valuable tool. And honestly, I've been a little maybe complacent because I'm at that stage where I don't have to do this. But when your son, who is, you know, one of your favorite people on the planet, says, let's take this to the world, I got to say, you guys, it lit a fire under me, which is even why I'm here, because I don't normally do this stuff. So you asked, Charisse, you know, my passion is really supporting people to have a bigger message in the world and actually to find a way to create meaningful connections. So shall we talk about the free gift? I know I'm like rambling, but.
No, I'm just bringing this up because as you were talking about
that.
So that's why I put it up, not to speed you up, not to be like, let's go.
So here's what I want to say. Like, so I also feel like I'm also speaking to the 60 people who are participating in this challenge or the giveaway, because, you know, no matter what your message is, what's happening right now in our industry, the thought leader industry, the digital marketing industry, is that it's so crowded and people feel invisible. The people who are on our list, they don't feel seen. We don't understand who they are. And so the tool that we built this whole business around was born out of my own frustration 5 years ago, actually 6 years ago, which was I had a list of 10,000 people. I'm so committed to serving each person, but I know that people need different things depending on where they are in their path. And so I went to my husband, so thank God he's got a programming team. He's like a total tech geek. And I went to him and said, I need a tool that will allow me to see into the hearts and minds and see where each person is on their path. So we created an assessment tool. And the assessment tool is really built for anybody who has a list. It could be 50 people, it could be 50,000, 500,000. The point of this tool is that in order for you to truly serve, in order for you to create meaningful connections, in order for you to have that meaningful conversation that moves them into a product, you have to know who's at the other end. And may I say that a survey doesn't do that. A survey just collects data. It's valuable. We have that as a part of our tool. We teach people how to use surveys. But the game changer for any thought leader, whether you're a coach, a consultant in any of those niches, is for you to really know and see inside the journey that that person is on. Because when you see them, you know, first of all, everybody wants to feel seen, heard, and understood, like all three of us, right? We know that. When we're on somebody's list, we want to be understood and seen. But when you have them take an assessment, which is what the tool is. So the gift is you get a free, we put together a really cool gift, which is they get a free subscription to the assessment. They come in, they get my team support, they get my support. But what happens is when you develop an assessment that allows somebody at the other end of an email, whether it was a lead magnet with, you know, your amazing team, it talks about lead magnets, whether it's speaking, whether it's just networking. When you meet someone, the best thing you can do is to truly understand where they are. So we created a tool where literally in 30 minutes, I mean, Michelle, you've been in there. It's a super easy to use tool. We've got lots of templates, but it allows you to harness the power of assessments to understand who's at the other end of that email and to communicate. Sometimes it might be putting them into an automated campaign, but most of our clients are using it to spark really meaningful connections and conversations.
So you said most of our clients. Who is your ideal client? Who exactly would get the very most out of this gift?
Yeah, so I mean, thought leaders is the broad umbrella, Charisse, but it's coaches, consultants, speakers, trainers, and authors. Like that's really the realm. It doesn't matter the niche because we have templates for people in dog training and parenting and health and wellness and biz growth and leadership. So it doesn't matter the niche. But the point is, are you wanting to build a community with which, whether you're moving them into a mastermind, an automated course, or one-on-one coaching, the only way that you can move them into that next step is to have a meaningful connection. So that's really, it's crazy. I don't know how I ended up with a tech tool, right? I'm a coach consultant, and that's what I do. But we're using technology to create meaningful connections. And that's what we've given everybody is, it's a free subscription. It's 30 days, which is more than anybody else has ever gotten. They get all sorts of support from the team, and they even have an opportunity to hop on with me, which is like my brain on your assessment. But yeah, we love Jay's community, and we know you guys are our peeps. And so we just want to put this in the hand, even if you're freaked out about technology and it's not something that you've ever delved into, or you shy away from. We've made it super, super easy.
It is super simple to go in there and be able to. I love. We use it, and it's on our website. And yes, we've total advocates of it because it's just a super fun way for people to be able to find out where our clients are at, and for them to let us know where they're at without them getting freaked out that they have to do a half day VIP, whatever, just dig it all out. It's like, no, we can figure this out in a couple of minutes. Just go and play games.
Yeah.
And it's good.
I mean, the funky thing, like everybody here listening probably does those one-on-one conversations where you're looking to see, are they my client? And what I didn't like is we spent the first 15 minutes trying to figure out where they needed support and how I could support them. And so one of the things that's was a bit of a surprise is we can shave off 15 to 20 minutes from that conversation, because you're in it right from the beginning. We teach how to have the conversation using assessment results. So yeah, just on a mission to help, going back to health and wellness. Hey, if you have a way to create revenues on demand, if you're not stressed out about money, like that's right up there with yoga and breathing and eating well. Because if we feel taken care of financially and we feel like we're on task with our purpose, that's a huge piece.
Love that. So Jane, can I ask you a fun question?
Oh my God. Okay. I have to say, like I've answered every one of your questions myself already. And I'm so glad you didn't ask me the last one, or the car. What did I name my car? That was
Well, hopefully this one's an easy one for you too. If not, we'll come up with something else for you if you want. What was the funniest animal you ever owned as a pet?
Funny, a guinea pig? Oh no, God. Okay. So we had a hamster. Oh my gosh, no. And so we used to like to cuddle with them. And I remember putting him, this is really strange, but anyway, I remember putting him on my shirt. Like I wanted to cuddle with him, and wow. So don't go into details, but it didn't go well. I would say hamster was the most crazy pet I ever owned.
Hamsters they are very cuddly looking, and they do not like to cuddle, at least not with humans.
No, it didn't go well.
We used to have a hamster and creep me out because the bars were so narrow and his head was so big, and he just squeezed through it and get out, and we'd be watching TV and he'd run across my feet and I would skyrocket. And my brother thought that was the most hilarious thing ever.
But
I just jumped like a cat straight up.
What I do love about like the analogy of the hamster, right? Because I think kind of in some ways, even though you didn't own one, I mean, I think part of the entrepreneurial journey is we're kind of on that hamster wheel. Like I used to watch him like constant. I was like, oh my God, when are you going to sleep? And here I am in the entrepreneurial world, working with people who are pretty much oftentimes on the hamster wheel. So a little. And
your hamster's looking at you going, God, when are you going to go to sleep?
Right? And it's like plotting to take over the world.
Exactly. Well, so grateful for you guys. You've just done such a great job, and you're such a representation of Jay's community, which, by the way, is bar none such a beautiful community, and I'm so happy to be a part of it.
And we are so glad you are too. It's been fun, and one day I'll get around to doing Jay's assessment.
No, actually, so here's the thing, Michelle, I got it done.
Yay! Good.
I did it. We've got them all set up for the next JVology Live. It's done. I just need your feedback. We got it.
Yahoo! Awesome. And then we just got to get it on his website so that we can.
It's all easy. Like honestly, we'll do it all for you. It's super easy.
Yes, I know you will, and that's what I love about you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thanks, guys. And you got one more, I think. Yeah. Am I like I'm bringing up the rear?
Yeah, we've got potentially one more. He was in Backstage a little bit early and then hopped out, and so I'm hoping he didn't forget the real time. But in any case, it was lovely having you, Jane. Thank you so much for coming and sharing your gift and your passion with us. Much appreciated. If you want to get your hands on Jane's gift, head on over to JVologyGiveaway.com, where you can get Jane's gift and over 60 other amazing gifts. So thank you so much, Jane.
Love you guys.
Awesome. Love you too. See ya.
Bye.
Bye. I think we need a meerkat.
How did I leave?
We need a
Oh,
meerkat.
yeah, we'll take care of it.
Where is the one who was coming to save me? Where is the twist at the end of the story?
I didn't have a dumpster one. Sorry.
No, we don't. Life's not complete until you've seen a meerkat. Well, we have our next contributor here with us. I'm going to bring him on up to the stage. Welcome, Dr. Joseph. Hello. Can you hear us? Can you hear us?
Do you want to hear
Are we
us?
talking?
I've got a lot of echo. Am I echoing too as well, or
No.
just you?
Yeah, clear as a bell. It's just Therese. She does that. It's a ventriloquism thing she's got going on.
So
All right.
Would you like to disconnect and
Yeah,
come back in?
that's
You're
what I
more than
think.
welcome to do
It's
that.
the headphone thing.
Yeah. Disconnect
All
and
right,
come
what-
back in and we'll play another video.
You want me to leave the studio and come back?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Here we go.
It's hard to hear.
I came here thinking
Oh, this one.
When we think about joint venturing, we often think about people emailing their lists for the products and offerings that we have. But there's so much more to it.
JVology is a great brand, great group of people. Everybody is a heart-centered entrepreneur who cares a lot about their customers, and they deliver great value.
The quality and the caliber of people in this room is amazing.
Every single person in the room is handpicked. They are qualified to be in the room. They are qualified to play.
Because they have proven time and time again to be abundant, powerful players in the marketing spaces, in different businesses, as coaches, as entrepreneurs.
Really genuine people, authentic. There's a lot of people in the room who have some amazing perspectives.
Every single time I attend one of these JVology summits, I get a ton of value.
I actually am leaving today with promotions booked on other people's calendars. My calendar's full.
I'm convinced that I walked away with $500,000 of revenue just from this event.
3 times when you get to engage with the room. One is you do a pitch to the room of your JV, your joint venture that you want to provide to other people to make money.
Secondly, they get a mastermind, which is an opportunity to bring a pressing problem or a thought or wanting to tap into the genius of the room. If you were trying to engage them individually, they are measured in the thousands of dollars an hour or per part day to kind of tap into that expertise. And you've got 3 days of really getting their feedback around particular problems, issues, etc. And it is unbelievable what comes out of that creation. And then the third area is a gift, a chance to show some appreciation or give a gift of value that might be your genius or something you can contribute back to the group.
Having the time for people to understand my business, and that really came out of in between the sessions that we had. So over lunches, over dinners.
More like a retreat and less like a workshop.
So we get out of the classroom, so to speak, and actually get to go out there into the real world.
Yesterday we did iFly, which is you jump in a huge wind tunnel tube and do indoor skydiving, which is pretty cool.
You're hovering in the air and whirling around, and
It was something that most of us were doing for the first time. So it was this shared, awkward, uncomfortable, uncertain experience, and ultimately that brings people together, right? Our fears, our anxieties bring us together into the collective experience, and it allowed us to bond at a level that, again, you normally don't have, because most events don't have that type of experiential component, and I think Jay and Josh did an incredible job in thinking through that.
What I expected, you guys delivered way beyond expectations.
I trust Jay and Josh to cultivate only the best.
Jay has made this event not about him or about the facilitators. It's literally an event where everybody is exchanging information. It's very open, it's very free.
Jay and Josh are seamless.
Josh is focused on the technology piece, on the marketing piece, and Jay has 27 years of experience.
Understanding that business isn't just about use and be used, want 'em, got 'em, need 'em. It's also about who are we being in the world.
I mean, as much as we learned, we laughed, we connected.
All of life, all of business is really about relationships.
If you get an invitation to a JVology summit, it really is a gift, and you'd be foolish not to accept that gift.
It was the piece that my business was missing, and I cannot wait to come back to the next one.
Okay, that totally wasn't the JVology live commercial that I planned, but hey, now you know all about summits, so that's good. And now we get to find out all about Dr. Joseph. Can you hear us now?
Just call me Joseph. I can hear great now.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Okay, good. Because that was going to make our questions very awkward if you had that echo.
Right.
So let's start by introducing you to our community. So let us know who you are and what you do. What is your passion?
Well, I've been an educator for, 37 years. Can you believe it? I mean, when you're teaching the kids at a master's level and you've already taught the parents at that level, you know you've been there too long, right? But I've been teaching in the area of communication, leadership, and coaching and so forth over the last 37 years. So my passion is to make that happen without having to go to college or to have to pay college debt. That's what I love to do now.
Wow, that sounds amazing. So tell us, how did you get into that work?
Well, I was pastoring churches for years up in Canada, and then I felt like I really wanted to train leaders, and I wound up loving to communicate. And I loved also helping communicators communicate better. I mean, some people, the worst four-letter word you can describe is BORE, when people can't connect or they're inauthentic or somehow they just drone on and on. So I'm just trying to rescue students from going to sleep in class. That's why I developed these tools.
Yeah, I can really appreciate that because I've been in education for over 10 years, which I know that doesn't look possible, but it's true. I've been in education for over 10 years. And
she's only in grade 10.
I know. I've been a student and also teaching at the same time. It's been amazing. No, but yeah, I definitely know that feeling of having the students really engaged and excited about the material and knowing what that looks like when they're not super excited and engaged in the material and going, uh-oh, mayday, red alert, something's gone wrong. And my moment when, because I used to teach college classes, I used to teach microbiology, the moment when everyone's like, and then they go, hold on, I'm back. That's the moment when I'm like, okay, something's gone terribly wrong, right? Like all the faces drop and I know whatever I just said, I said the wrong thing. So that's not just in a classroom, that's in every situation. And I think and I'd love to hear, Joseph, your thoughts on this. Is this harder for people to do in a Zoom world, which most of us have been living in for almost 2 years, where you can't necessarily read the room and get that immediate feedback?
Oh, that's a great point. Well, I think as I've listened to the people come on, they're talking about being real, getting in touch with themselves, being able to help people to do that. The assessment tool we just heard about, all of that, I think, overcomes the ability that we're facing now where people just can't connect or they're polarized or they're canceling out each other. I think the ability to communicate well is really the next step to everything, no matter what your dream or your vision. And we can improve, but it begins by dealing sometimes with the agendas we bring to any conversation or any communication that kind of self-sabotage it. So I love to go there real quick.
Mm-hmm. And on that note, what is your gift? Because you were just talking about how we can improve. So how does your gift help us improve in our communication?
So the gift starts with something called Conversational Champions, which I think is great for parents at home with teenagers. It's great for people that are networking. It's great for people that are trying to connect in business. I remember that I had a company had 135 hotels, and they wanted to be number one in customer service excellence. And they asked me to come in and do something. But I realized right up front, they were disconnecting with their supervisors, their managers. 130, they had about 75 managers. At any rate, I took them through this, And they changed. They changed internally because they began to really listen to their frontline workers and their supervisors working with them. And they moved up to like number 8 or 9 in the world in customer service excellence. But they had to deal with some just basic conversational things that they thought they could deal with. So the next one is dealing with conflict. I've got one on that. Then I have one called transformational intelligence, which helps you to assess cultural ability to relate culturally, to connect with people in different ways at work. And then I added something for the first time called 7M coaching, which enables people to use it, coaching skills in communication for managers, supervisors, or direct reports. So all of that together, I call it master communicator, being able to really go from just kind of average amateur to really be skilled at communicating either one-to-one, one-to-few, or one-to-many.
That's amazing. Go ahead, Michelle.
I was going to say, that's fantastic. I know, again, one of those ones I wish you were around when, because I remember having a conversation when I was like young in one of my very first jobs, and the CEO was like, we're practicing our communication. We want to listen to the front end people. And the conversation went something like, oh, that's fantastic. Well, I think you really need more doors around here so that people can access us faster. And we're like, oh, I hear what you're saying. So basically what you're looking for is a window. No, looking for a door. And so like a window or something glass where people can see it. No, I don't want them to come right in. I want a door. Yeah, we're listening to you. It's like, no, you're not. So, how common is that still?
There's a famous movie, I think it's Jim Carrey, called Liar, Liar or something. I don't know. But he's got this hand that he's trying to not write the truth. And I tell people, put your hand out. This is the advice-giving hand that nobody's asking for. This is you trying to project your story. Let's put your hand behind your back and keep it there during this conversation. People laugh, but they're embarrassed, and they actually have to sit on their hand when they're talking to somebody sitting down just to remind themselves not to try to fix somebody in the first 3 minutes.
That was awesome. I love that.
So your gift has like 1,000 things in it. It's a very robust. I don't know what the word is. What did you just say, Michelle?
Robust.
Robust. That's a beautiful word. It's a very robust gift. Who is the perfect person for your gift? You said one-to-one, one-to-many. Is there a specific person that you tend to attract, or who would be the perfect person to take advantage of all of these gifts rolled into one bundle?
Well, certainly it's got a coaching DNA since I've had a coaching training company for 25 years almost. And so I've trained coaches, but it doesn't make you a coach, but it makes you a better conversational connector. So it's really designed for anybody that just wants to get really better at it really quick. And so I trained at the university where I'm at. We got retention is a big issue. When you have over 10,000 students, if you can increase retention 1%, that you've saved $1 million. So I trained 1,700 staff. That would be even including student workers, part-time workers, and full-time staff in like just this stuff I'm offering, and how to connect better, how to listen to what really matters, how to ask more powerful questions, and how to just really connect quickly with the student so that the student feels like I'm known, I belong, I matter, and I make a difference. And we increased like 2 or 3% retention rate. So there's millions of dollars that we save them. So the ideal client, could be somebody that really wants their staff to create a culture where they really connect, and whether it's vendors, customers, or fellow staff, but it could be just a parent. It depends. So you can take this as where you need it right now at home, or you can make a difference at work as well.
I love that. And who couldn't save $1 million? Like,
ooh.
Yeah, who would not be able to use another $1 million?
I could use another $1 million.
So I want to thank you so much for this gift. That's what I was going to say. So if you want to get your hands on this whole entire bundle of gifts, this entire collection that's coming just from Joseph, make your way over to JVologyGiveaway.com to get your hands on his bundle and over 60 other amazing gifts that can help you and your business, your health, and your life. So thank you so much, Joseph, for joining us today.
Thanks so much. Thanks for helping the guy that's been in university so long to figure out how to use some technology. You guys are experts, and you're having a lot of fun today, I can tell.
We've had a blast. So do you mind if I ask you a fun question? We'll see how.
I didn't have a hamster, but whatever it is, go ahead.
Awesome. So what is a weird fact that you happen to know?
A weird fact that I happen to know? Well, it's that 10,000 people that are my age there's 10,000 of us turning my age every day in America for the next 17 years. And it's called a silver tsunami, right? So get ready.
I love that.
And the most productive years of your life, if you have your health, is between 60 and 70. So I want to have the most productive years of my life, and I want to help other people do it as well.
Love that.
Beautiful.
That was awesome, and I totally concur. Excellent. Well, thank you so much. It's been a blast having you, and you made the perfect conclusion to wrap the little bow up on our day.
You guys did it all. You're the pros. Thanks so much.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye. And now we are going to do this just because I can.
Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, we have just concluded day 33333. We are at the halfway mark of the JVology giveaway show. So if you were just tuning in, if you missed days 1 and 2, no worries. Just head on over to JVologyGiveaway.com so you can see all the different gifts that are available. You can also check whatever channel you're currently viewing this on for the previous days if you want to hear more about the person behind the gift and their heart and their passion. Just trust us, they're all amazing. They're like really cool people. So definitely head on over to JVologyGiveaway.com if you have not already and get your hands on some amazing gifts. And join us again tomorrow, same place, same time, where we will be doing day 4 of our JVology giveaway interviews. And I forget what tomorrow's theme is, but we'll have a little mix of everybody. And I think maybe sales or something. I think it's maybe sales. But we'll have a little bit of mix of all of our different categories for you to get a sample of some of the amazing gifts that we have for you.
Yeah. So join us then.